David, between LeBron and Shaq wanting the franchise in Las Vegas, what do you imagine when basketball does end up getting to Las Vegas? What is ownership going to look like there? Is LeBron going to have the ability to pull off ownership in Vegas more than Shaq?
I think I'm going to get in trouble because I talked about this on today's show, Nothing Personal, that's out now. NBA wants LeBron over Shaq, there's no question. But people thinking that LeBron is going to be able to be like Jordan, he's not. In order for LeBron to be the control person of an expansion team, the NBA is going to have to change its rules. And query, will they? Because they want LeBron in there. But he doesn't have the money to pay the expansion fee and to be the control person and to be the biggest equity holder. And there are rules that the NFL has, the NBA has, that MLB has about what an owner has to put in and what percentage of the team the main owner has to have. That's why you have Magic, who is a great part of an ownership group, but it's really an outward-facing part. LeBron is the type who wants to be in charge. The MLB had this issue with Jeter. When Jeter wanted to be the control person, MLB said, no, you're not allowed to be. You're not putting in enough money to be the control person, so it had to be Bruce Sherman. But Derek Jeter got to run the team. My view is LeBron doesn't want to run the team. He wants to be the Bruce Sherman of the Vegas team, and I don't know how he's going to do it. But the NBA will find a way because they'll choose LeBron over Shaq, as they should, but they have to change the rules, and I don't know that he'll get the votes to do that.
But David, isn't LeBron's involvement with that to do with his involvement with Fenway Sports Group, who are apparently the actual financiers of that whole thing?
And
it's
Redbird Capital. Of
Right.
course, that's where he's going to get his money, the same way Jeter got his money with Sherman. So I understand where LeBron can come up with the money to do it, but I'm talking about him being the name. There's one guy, and that's it. There's one control person of every franchise. How does LeBron become the control person versus being in an ownership group? He can be in an ownership group in Vegas, and that's going to work. But my view of LeBron is he'd want to be the control person.
But I mean, that's impossible in both the NFL and the NBA at this point. When teams are going, I mean, that expansion fee is going to be what, $5 billion for an NBA team in Vegas? At least $5 billion? Right. So I mean, there are how many people in the world that are individuals, not as part of venture capital firms that can afford that? It's 150, 200 people in the world can afford to pay $5 billion before you even build an arena, before you even do anything.
Jordan's the only athlete who's ever been in the Forbes top list. He's now worth $3 billion.
But what was the Charlotte?
That's after he sold the team, though.
No,
yes.
and also, what were the Charlotte Hornets worth then? Were they worth $350 million? NBA teams used
totally
to be affordable.
different,
It's a completely different world than it was in the late 2000s. Did the Milwaukee Bucks get sold for $300 million at the time? That's preposterous now compared to what you buy an NBA team for.
It's the same thing like what your MLS did with Beckham, giving him an option when he signed with LA for $25 million to get an expansion team, and the owners were okay because they wanted Beckham to have it. The owners are not going to give LeBron an option for an expansion team at a reduced fee because they need the expansion fee money to pay down their debt. So LeBron is not going to get what Beckham got. And frankly, I don't know that anyone will ever get
Messi
what
didn't
Beckham
get
got
that
again.
The reports are that Messi sort of got offered a piece, but that will never ever happen again. Especially, I mean, that purchase option you said was $25 million. I think the most recent expansion team into MLS, San Diego, is at $500 million.
David, wouldn't most groups want LeBron to be their control guy?
It doesn't matter what they want. It matters what the NBA rules are.
Right.
And the rules are that if you're going to be the control guy of a partnership and on the board of governors with the NBA, that you have to own a certain amount.
Which groups, though, Stugotz? A billionaire doesn't want to give LeBron more control than the billionaire has. You think somebody wants to give LeBron the control?
If it increases the value of your franchise, if it makes better players want to come there to play for you, I would think that some people would be okay with LeBron being the control guy. Yeah, Sherman did it.
But Jeter wasn't really the control guy.
Not well, and he wasn't the control guy. He just sort of looked like the control guy. I would assume that anybody buying in for that amount of money would want everyone to be their employee, period.
You also, by the way, saw with Michael Jordan what happens when you are the control guy. And you've kind of seen it to a lesser extent with LeBron when he's been gotten free reign on the teams. He could be the greatest basketball player ever and not know how to successfully run a basketball franchise.
Billy, we are completely aligned. When I said that Derek's good at being at shortstop, it doesn't mean you can be a CEO. It's two very different skills. And Jordan found that out. It's funny, his reputation is not tarnished because his team went up so much in value. But can anyone say that Michael Jordan had a successful reign in charge of a basketball team?
No,
I don't think so.
But it doesn't
well,
it doesn't preclude you though.
No, it's also not a shot at them. It just is one of those. It's like sometimes the best players aren't great coaches.
Yeah,
like
it
Doesn't mean
different
LeBron would be
skill
bad
sets.
at it.
Yeah,
It's an easier sell, Las Vegas,
but he might
than
not
Charlotte.
be good.